So continuing on our series of answering frequently asked questions, we're going to tackle the subject today of what are prepaid funeral plans. So it's probably easier to answer it with what are they not, and they're not life insurance policies. A lot of people think they have a prepaid funeral plan because they were sold a life insurance policy with the view to when they passed away that would pay for the funeral. And 20-30 years ago, probably nothing wrong with that. We were looking around about 20 years ago at a funeral being about £1,000. About 10 years ago, about £2,000. Now we're looking around about £4,000. And we're finding people who've had policies for a number of years which pay out maybe £2,500, and they've been paying in regularly until obviously they've passed away. And we're now finding that the estate is having to bear the brunt of the bit that it's not covering, because you're only being paid out £2,500, the funeral's £4,000. This leaves the family having to bear the brunt of the £1,500 excess that's got to be paid, which clearly wasn't the intention of the original policyholder when they took out the policy in the first place. So we're finding that a lot of people are finding that they are underfunded, and as time goes on, of course, this is getting worse, because we know that funeral plans, and funerals themselves rather, are going up by 10% every year. Now this means every 10 years they're doubling. So just imagine now what your funeral would cost when you're 90, based on your age now, and a funeral being £4,000. Quite surprising, isn't it? Now, if you actually consider you can take a prepaid funeral plan today for £2,250, that obviously makes a lot of commercial sense, because once you've paid for it, there are no further fees to be paid. Now, there are two types of plans that we offer. One is a cremation only, and one is without cremation fees, which you can upgrade to if you want to have cremation fees put in place. So the key to this is to make sure that the loved ones left behind don't have to pay anything unsuspected further than they were anticipating. So if you have a plan that covers all the funeral director services but doesn't cover the cremation, then they know they've obviously got to pay for a cremation, which could be anywhere between £500 and £1,000. That's fine. The actual funeral director services could be £8,000 to £10,000, so finding that small amount isn't too bad. Now, if you have taken the option to upgrade to include cremation services, then obviously there's nothing further to pay, and when you come and speak with us, we can obviously talk to you about the various plans that are available. But the key is to understand the difference between a prepaid funeral plan, which will always appoint a funeral director. Your money should be held securely in a trust, so you shouldn't be paying an independent company like ourselves directly. You shouldn't be paying the funeral plan company directly, and you shouldn't be paying a funeral director directly. The money should go into a trust. You should look to see that the trust is independently audited, and once you've established that you're 100% secure, then you can move forwards with a prepaid funeral plan. We offer Silver Clouds funeral plans, but there are others out there, so obviously it's up to you which one you choose. But going forwards, it's very important to think that first of all, you need to ensure that the funeral is covered by the appointment of a funeral director. Secondarily, that there will be no further fees to pay, or if they are, you know what they're going to entail. And thirdly, and most importantly, that the plan should be transferable. So going forwards, if you move around the country, you should be able to have another funeral director appointed. This in complete contrast, of course, to a policy, a life policy, that only pays out a certain amount of money and will pay out into the estate. So obviously that hasn't sorted the funeral out at all. It does mean that the family will have to go to the funeral directors and start to negotiate with them to the cost, and obviously, as we've already highlighted, it may well be that the cost is actually more than the actual plan is covering. So check to see what you've got. Come and have a chat to us down at 46 Goring Road, or give us a call on 01903 649 021.